Steady now.
Sabrina Di Duro's Freedom Planet would go for a peculiar journey to launch. First started in 2011 with intentions of being a Sonic fan game, the independent developer would fear that the shadow of the franchise would loom over her creation, and a new property would allow more creative freedom, with the story and characters requiring a complete redesign as a consequence. After a successful Kickstarter campaign and launch on Steam in 2014, Galaxy Trail would bring the platformer to the Wii U just over a year after, the first console port. Luckily for Nintendo fans, Freedom Planet's charms and quirks would translate perfectly to the console, still proving a comfortable throwback to the days of old, while refreshing the formula to appeal to modern gamers. On the planet Avalis that is governed by 3 nations, Sash Lilac and Carol T are 2 friends who enjoy secluded life in a hidden treehouse. But the source of the planet's energy is under strain, as each nation relies on the Kingdom Stone to power their lifestyles, and this naturally teeters the factions towards conflict. Throw in an invading alien force who is stirring the pot behind the scenes, and the situation becomes a ticking time bomb. But with the heroes of the story becoming involved, along with help from Torque the Shelduck and Mila the Hound Puppy, there may be hope still. The story is rather substantial, told through lengthy and fully voiced cutscenes which paint a surprisingly dark tale at points. The voice work is inconsistent, with some characters sounding like they auditioned for Resident Evil, but doesn't detract significantly from the strengths. And while this yarn can seem a tad predictable in the early stages, it's worth sticking with.
My turn.
Freedom Planet essentially picks up where 16-bit gaming left off. A 2D platformer with speed pads to run through levels, a barrage of alternate paths which can lead to secrets, and a rising difficulty that crescendos at the end. Each of the 14 stages is typically split into 2 acts, with a boss fight at the end that often dwarfs our playable character. These prove a real highlight, with skill and patience required to overcome their patterns. Level design is great, with a healthy dose of corkscrews and loops that ape Sonic the Hedgehog at its peak, and plenty of incentives to slow and explore. Rather than the typical rings system, characters can take hits and regain health using red leaves, while gems earn extra lives after collecting 200. You can freely continue if you lose all your lives, though on the higher setting, a restart costs gems which you may lack. The difficulty settings prove well balanced, with lower settings allowing for more relaxed play with regeneration, while hard apes the classics Galaxy Trail was inspired by. Each character's moveset also feels modelled on the icons of 16-bit. Lilac builds speed the quickest and can perform a Dragon Boost move, which sees her bouncing off the walls like Rystar, proving the best for time attack, as the latter can help bypass normally longer paths. Carol is a slower brawler, with a flurry of kicks proving potent against a myriad of foes. Gas canisters allow her to ride her motorcycle, a fun way to speed past foes as well as access higher ground. Lastly, Mila is quite unique. She can dig certain ground to unearth goodies, pick up objects to throw and float high in the air. She can also conjure a defensive shield to reflect attacks, and even gelatinous cubes to chuck at foes. While you end up repeating levels a few times during subsequent playthroughs, they feel different enough thanks to how each character handles, often setting you on a different path that the others cannot take. Couple this with some unique stages that only certain characters can explore, and each playthrough feels substantial and different enough to warrant a replay. Two modes of play are available, with Adventure mode including all the cutscenes, while Classic mode streamlines the experience with almost all the story removed, though it feels a bit like throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Time Attack lets you replay each stage while aiming to trim your completion time down, a most satisfying endeavour, as well as mop up missing collectibles. Each stage features 10 cards, which reward concept art, music tracks, and sound bites. Performing certain feats also rewards badges, something akin to achievements, and some prove tougher than others, such as completing the game without losing a life. For the asking price of $10.99, it's quite a substantial game. Freedom Planet's key strengths lie within its presentation, a near-perfect throwback to the era which inspired it. Bright and colourful sprites, a cavalcade of oddball creatures to fight, and gorgeously crafted backgrounds add up to a tremendous visual style. The anime-esque designs of the world, with an almost oriental culture of mythology, prove notable too. Performance is usually strong, and beating each boss sees a stylish slow-mo effect come into play. The sound side, bar the whiffy voice acting, is also great. The soundtrack's eclectic mix of guitars, synth, and xylophone work very well, adding a flavour to each stage. The effects are appropriately retro, a bit crunched, and fitting with the visual style. Freedom Planet picks up the baton from classic 16-bits like Sonic and Gunstar Heroes and runs with it, crafting a great throwback platformer. It plays extremely well, benefits from well-crafted stages, and feels nostalgic while adding fresh touches to the games that inspired it. Those not groomed on those type of games may find the learning curve steep, and the voice work is perhaps the one modern element the game didn't need. But when all the elements click together, it proves a gratifying adventure. Anyone with vague interest in the aforementioned platformers would do well to seek this one out.